Hi, my name's Emma, and after recapping all of my different interview experiences with various med schools in Australia, I thought it was about time I finally announce which school I'll be going to and why. So if you want to know where I'll be studying for my MD in Australia, then keep watching. So, to get the big announcement out of the way, in January I will be flying to Sydney, Australia to study medicine at, drumroll, Macquarie University, and I am so excited. So for the rest of this video, I'm just going to talk about my experience, what it felt like actually receiving that acceptance, and why I know Macquarie is the school for me. To recap a little bit of the story, originally when I started looking at schools in Australia, I thought I wanted to go to the University of Melbourne. I really liked the idea of Melbourne as a city, and some of the information that was presented to me really made me think that I would enjoy the University of Melbourne and their medical program. Specifically, there was a leadership program that really appealed to me. And then as time went on and I found out I didn't have a prerequisite and there's no way for me to get the prerequisite I required, Melbourne was cut out. Once Melbourne was out of the picture, though, I could kind of open my eyes a little bit more. So once I started focusing a little bit more on Macquarie, with the help of Ozcheck, I networked at one of the events and spoke to a representative from Macquarie, a recruiter, and she was amazing. It was really great to connect with her. I still share a connection with her and can email her my questions, and I felt really welcomed and really valued by Macquarie, and I started to learn more and more about the values of their medical degree and the medical program, and realized how much those resonated with my values. Macquarie really settled in as the school of my choice after I returned from my placement in Namibia. So Namibia was my first exposure to even volunteering in another country, especially a country that is still developing, let alone volunteering and seeing the health of another developing country and sort of the importance of global efforts, global volunteering, and specifically global health. And one thing that really hit home, it's kind of a silly story, but in preparation for my interview with Macquarie, I was watching different videos on YouTube, and I stumbled upon the welcome class of 2018, or incoming class of 2018, MD video from Macquarie, and I'll link it down below. And I was sitting there just trying to glean a little bit more about what this school was all about, and I felt like I could cry. I wanted so badly to be one of those members in that audience being welcomed into the program, and that's when I think it really hit me that how much I really wanted this, and that was really scary because it was, a couple days before the interview, and I realized that this was important. If you've watched my video all about my interview experience, you'll realize that I did not think I did well in that interview. I had just realized how important it was, and then I went through the interview and I thought I failed. And that sucked. I thought, okay, well, I fell in love with this school and I never gonna go here, and now let's look at my favorite. Let's look at the school I have interviews for and pick which one's my favorite, because that's the one that I have to go to if I even get into that. That's really disheartening, but that's just honestly how I felt. And about a week or so later, after thinking, I don't have it, I'm just gonna get a rejection email, if that, I refresh my email. I'm sitting in bed and I'm Skyping my boyfriend, and I think, okay, I will just refresh this one more time. And I refresh my email and there's the subject line. And the subject line reads exactly my student number that I already had, my full name, Doctor of Medicine, dash. I couldn't see the rest. It was just like the preview of the subject line. And so I'm sitting there thinking, I already failed, might as well open it, it's gonna be bad news. And I click it, and the rest of the subject line reads full offer. And I just froze. I was in disbelief. I think my eyes were jutting all around, trying to read it to make sure it was meant for me, to make sure it was actually a full offer, it wasn't full offer declined, or something crazy like that. But no, it was an offer for me to go to Macquarie Med School. And then I think I spent the next hour cycling through disbelief, crying, and just staring at my computer with a goofy smile. And my poor boyfriend's on the other side, just being very happy for me, but not really knowing how to handle this cycle of emotions where I'm like, no, it's not real, and oh my god, I can't believe I'm going, and then just sitting there smiling. I think what was so important to me about getting this acceptance, it wasn't just here is a golden ticket to go follow your dreams and become a doctor, because I already had that. I got that with the U Queensland acceptance, and I was genuinely very excited to get that acceptance, because it did mean, okay, no matter what, you're going to be a doctor. But getting the acceptance from Macquarie after I had learned so much more about their program, so much more about what the program stood for, it meant here's your golden ticket to not only be a doctor, but be trained by a program that you really tie your own personal values to and really become the doctor that you want to be. So I think I can boil down the reasons why I love Macquarie to probably about 5 different reasons. 1, the class size. 2, the age of the program. 3, I've written them down, the value of the program, which includes the international and global focus, the health integrated program, and of course the people that I've met or at least interacted with so far. So talking about class size, the Macquarie MD program caps itself at about 60 first-year students, and 20 of those are international. That is tiny. That is such a small class. If you think about that for a Canadian, that's like 2 high school classes, which is unfathomable. The amount of, or the opportunity for individualized attention, one-on-one time with professors if you have questions, or at least even being recognized in class, being recognized by your peers, knowing your peers. It's just such a small cohort that I really feel like it's an opportunity where I can thrive in. The Macquarie MD is a very young program. To my knowledge, the first class was welcomed this past February, so February of 2018, making the February of 2019, my cohort, the second class. And to some, that would be petrifying. You know, it's an MD that doesn't have a reputation yet. It's an MD that doesn't have all the kinks worked out yet. But to me, that's just exciting. I think it's an opportunity to know that the program director, that the professors, that the educators really value your feedback. They really need to know that you are having a good experience and how they can improve. And it gives you that opportunity to be a leader. You are one of the first 5 cohorts, you are the second year, you can kind of trailblaze, if you will, and that is something that's very exciting to me. Of course, there may be some downsides to having such a young program, but I'm more excited than I am worried. What's really important to me is the values of the program, the foundation that this program was built on, and Macquarie aims to produce doctors that are globally minded and culturally sensitive, and to me, that is just the medicine of the future. I think the world is becoming more and more global. Even the smallest towns are becoming more and more multicultural. And I think as a doctor, no matter what kind of doctor you want to be, wherever you want to specialize, you are going to be interacting with people who are culturally different than you, who have a different upbringing, who have come from a different place around the world. And you need to be able to navigate the complex doctor-patient relationship with added layers of cultural differences. And I think that it is just amazing that Macquarie is trying to start that education from the very beginning. So while all of us at school are just learning to be doctors, we are already learning to be culturally sensitive and culturally aware doctors. And that is just mind-blowing to me that they are already trying to integrate that and think about that. Not just that it's in their classes, I'm sure other universities focus on that or have classes on that, but yeah, it's at the core of the Macquarie program, and that is really special to me. Additionally, I think being globally minded is just how you're going to be the best doctor you can be. Being aware of problems elsewhere in the world and maybe being able to help solve or contribute to the solution to those, or being aware that there are solutions elsewhere in the world and that you and the small reach you have within your local community or your national community is not enough to help everybody. You need to look outwards. You need to look at global relationships to see how you can help, where you can help, and how other people can help, and where other people can help you. There is groundbreaking research happening all around the globe, and that needs to be shared, and the only way you're going to be able to share it or tap into it is if you're aware that it exists and you're able to look globally and think globally. I think it's also important, given all of our international travel and international aid being offered from and throughout the globe and various countries, we need to be aware of how the health of one country could impact the health of the others around it or others around the globe, because realistically, global travel and global exchange is not going to decrease in the near future. So The global focus of the Macquarie program is really important to me. Additionally, Macquarie really puts its money where its mouth is when it says it is focusing globally, in that it has mandatory international placements in your third and fourth year. And some of that is in India, in Hyderabad, India, a place where culturally is so different. Their medical and healthcare systems are so different than that in Australia, that Macquarie is really saying, not only are we going to, but we have the tools and the method of teaching to make sure that you at least get exposure to two different healthcare systems and two different culturally countries. There's thousands of cultures within the world, and I'm sure hundreds of different healthcare systems, but at least Macquarie is ensuring that you are exposed to two and starting you off on the right foot. And the campus, the healthcare integrated campus. MQ Health is the first university-led integrated health campus in Australia, and I'm reading that to quote it. The hospital is physically connected to the medical science building. So, not only is that sort of a metaphorical connection between the teaching that's happening and putting the learning into practice, but it's also a physical connection, which just makes things logistically easier. Professors, doctors, students can go between the two so easily, and I think it really symbolizes how Macquarie has integrated teaching into the hospital that's on campus. I think instead of having a university that has a relationship with a hospital that was built and then became a teaching hospital, MQ Health has been integrated to the core of the MD program. So that relationship, that scaffolding is already there, and I think that's just going to make for better clinical education happening sooner and happening more efficiently. And finally, just some of the people that I've already met or already interacted with. As much as the interview was scary, I do think towards the end, when I kind of saw some smiles, I got a vibe from those people and what they value at their institution, and then also the recruiter that I've already met. Everybody that I have talked to has made me feel very valued, has made me feel like a real person, not just another number or just another potential check going to the school. And that is the kind of institution that I want to become a doctor in. That's the kind of institution that I want to learn in. I want to be valued, I want to be known, and I want to be heard. And so far, all of the people that I've met or interacted with over email, sorting out, admission requirements, sorting out any questions I had, accepting my offer, making sure I complied to all of the New South Wales health requirements, and talking face-to-face with recruiters and emailing. Every single person I've talked to has made me feel valued, heard, and like a person. And that just sounds like a great place to learn. So now you know, I will be going to Macquarie University in 2019, and I am so excited. Now you've got my whole story about how I knew it was the school for me, why it's the school for me, and my experience finding out. I hope you enjoyed hearing all about my roller coaster, and if you want to, find out what it's like to go to university at Macquarie, or just to study medicine in Australia or study medicine at all, make sure you're subscribed. Give this video a like if you liked the format, and comment below. Let's have a conversation. Are you interested in medicine in Australia, or did you just arrive here because you're interested in my own journey? Just kind of cool. But either way, I want to talk to you, I want to get to know you. So I will see you in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.